Okay, so it's time to make a poem. I've got a poem here, quite a short one, which I put together. It's really simple to get started. Just go over to Express, press the plus. We're going to go down to video. Give it a title so you know you can find it later on. So I'll call them Why I Run. There we go. Now, you can see down the bottom here that you've got your timeline. This is where all the video action is going to happen. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to go to media on the left hand side. Now you can search for photos or videos. I'm going to go for video, photo to start off with. Go to runner, something like that. I can pick any of these, it doesn't really matter. You could also search for jogging. Got this one here. I think this one's pretty good. Now, okay, got this one here. I'm going to click it and you can see on the left hand side it says set as page background. I'm going to do that. And then also go to text, add your text, and I'm just going to put in Why I Run. Okay, now in terms of the fill color, it's over the left hand side here. I'm going to go for white. I'm also going to change it so it's a little bit different. You could go to the recommended fonts here, and then you can have a visual look at what you might want. Now, you can see that with the text, it's not that easy to read because of the background here. So rather than change the color, which I don't want to do, I'll click on the image itself, go to adjustments, and you could turn the brightness down. That makes it easier to read. Or you could go back out of that, go to effects and actually click darken itself. Now, click it a couple of times and then you'll get the intensity and you can reduce that down. That's a bit better. I like that. That's cool. What I want to show you here is how to actually put some voiceover on this as well. So I'll go over to media again, go over to audio, and you can see here record voiceover. So what's important here is that my playhead, you can see I'm just clicking and dragging this one here, is at the start, so that when I record my voiceover, I am actually recording from the start here. So click record voiceover, give it permission if it needs to. Make sure you've selected the right microphone here, and then start recording. Why I Run. So always give yourself a little bit of time at the start. Don't just go straight into it because you don't want to clip off your recording. And the same thing at the end as well. And once you've done that, what I like to do is kind of click and drag so that that is roughly in the middle of that clip. Now that's done, you can put your playhead back to the start. Click play. Why I Run. Nice. Okay. If I need to, what I can do is I can reduce the length of the scene so it's just a little bit tighter around the voiceover if I like, but that's up to you. And you might want to just change the position of your voiceover then, if you think there's too much of a gap at the start and the end. All right, now that I've done that, I can just add a scene down here, but let's just go and check out what we've got here. They ask me why I run. That's my first line after the start of the poem. Now, I'm going to go and add a scene in here. Now for this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to media again. This time I'll go to videos, okay? And I'm going to go, I'll go for like jogging again, just like I did with the image. Now what I'm looking for is a landscape one. You can use a portrait. This is a portrait one here. But I'm going to use a landscape so it's a little bit more aligned to what our current format is, which is this landscape video here. You can choose any one of these, doesn't really matter. This one's quite cool. And you can have a play. See if it matches up what you think it's going to look like. That's great. Now, I'm not going to need all of this video, but I'm going to need some of it, and I don't know how much yet. So let me go and put my playhead just after the start. Go to media again, audio, record voiceover. Again, start recording. They ask me why I run. Now that I've got that, I reckon I can cut off my video around about here. Once it's there, you can right click there and you can split that clip and then click on this next one and just press delete. There we go. All I'm going to do now is going to start building up my different scenes. I'm going to have a different scene for each one of these. So why I listen for the start is gone. And next one, why I stand in the mountain rain. Right. Now this is a good example for me to show you here that if I scroll along, now you can change how much you can view of your timeline by going in and out here. I'll go to add a scene and here I'll go for why I stand in the mountain rain. So I might take that bit out, put mountain rain out. Now what I'm looking for is like a jogger in the rain. So what I might do is go to photo, see if there's anything better here. And I could like person, rain. This first one's brilliant. She could definitely be a runner. So I'm going to click that, set as page background. So not everything is going to be a video because you might not necessarily find it. But if you want to do some effects on these things, I'll show you how to do that as well. Okay, now that I've got all my clips in there, I've still got one to do at the end, which is where it repeats the line, they ask me why I run. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this first scene, which has already got why I run in there. I'm going to duplicate it, and then I'm going to click and drag and put it all the way to the end there. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to click it, and then I'm going to flip it. And then with this, I'll take that all the way over there. And then maybe here, what I'll do is I'll click on the image again, go to the effects, and maybe I'll put some kind of tint on it, and then go back. So it's just so it's kind of like some kind of sunset, I suppose. Bring the brightness down, highlights up, or highlights even down. Yes. Saturation up. Yeah, so she's kind of finished her run now, and this is the end. It means I don't have to create a whole new scene, and it ties it together. You've got the same at the start and then another version of that at the end. Okay, what are we going to do in terms of tricks and things like that? Well, the first one you've got is you can get your text and you can put an animation effect on it. So go over here. I'm going to animate it in by just dropping it in, and I can select the duration of that. I'm going to do about 3 seconds, I think, just to make it feel a bit smoother. There we go. That looks nice. And then out. Actually, I'm not gonna fade it out at all. This one's fine. I'll leave that. What I think I'll do with this one is I'll record my voiceover. Why I push through all the pain. Right, now what I want to do is a clever little trick here, which is her pushing through the pain. So let me show you how to do this. This is a really cool little trick. So I'm going to trim that clip so it goes just around my voiceover. And then I'm going to get text, add your text. I'll put pain in here. In terms of color, I'm going to go white. I'm also going to go for something like, what am I going to go for here? Something like this one. Yeah, that one's good. Make it really big. Have it right slap in the center. You can see the alignment, sort of pink alignment tool there. Perfect. Right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the video. I can right click here. I can duplicate it. Now I've got a video on top. If I fit video again down here, it'll go right on top of the first one. Then I'm going to remove the background on this. Listen carefully to these steps. You can see it's working in the top left. And then also I'm going to select my text, right click, duplicate that, and then paste that. It will move it so it's right in the center again. And this time I'm going to swap the fill and the outline. So the outline is white and the fill is nothing. Now you're thinking, well, what's the point of that? Well, let me grab my video here where I've removed the background and pop it in between here. And now let's look at how this works. Why I push through all the pain. You see that cool little effect? Isn't that nice? Okay, then here for the mountain rain one, I used a photo. But I want to sort of bring it to life because everything else is a video. So I want to bring it to life. So what I'm going to do is go over to media, go over to videos, go for rain. Okay, this one's pretty cool. Stick that one in. Now I'm going to press fit video as well. But actually then I'm just going to drag it out so because it kind of you can see here it's kind of splashing on the floor, but we're not on the floor in our video. So I'm just going to make it a bit bigger. Now I've taken that all the way over the top. You might be thinking, well, what's the point? You've got that girl underneath who's kind of in the rain. How are we going to see her? Go to the blend mode down here and go to screen. Okay, now when you play this, nice, I like that. Now you can reduce the opacity to make it a little bit more subtle if you like. Let's try it again. Yeah, that's pretty cool. You can even find a picture of someone, standing and they have no rain in the photo whatsoever. In fact, we can do that if we like. We could go here and go there and go runner. This is in photos. And then all we need is a picture of a runner, maybe standing still, maybe something like this one. There we go, standing in the mountain rain. That's pretty cool. She looks happy about that. That's another trick you can do. And then don't forget, you got why I run here. You've already animated the first one, animate the last one as well. You can go in, you can have it dropping in. 3 seconds. If you did this before you duplicated it, that would be an even better idea. And maybe you would also animate this out as well, and would it rise out? Yeah, rise out. And maybe do that quite quickly. Nice. Now I'm going to add in one last scene. The only reason I want to do this last scene is because I want to make sure it's a white background, because I want this kind of video to fade out. So I'll just have it 3 seconds long, and then I can go to in between my video here, press the plus, add a transition, add a dissolve transition so it dissolves to white, and also I'm going to apply it to all scenes. Change apply to all scenes. Then last but not least, what you can do is put your playhead right at the start, go to media, go to audio, and then search for a track. I might go something like chill, see what we get. Now my whole video is 56 seconds. You can see that down here. Let's zoom in there. You can see 56 seconds. So I need something which is longer than 56 seconds. That one's pretty cool, like that. I'm going to stick it in there. And the last thing I'll do is bring that down, that volume down to about 15. And then just check it against my voiceovers by pressing play. They ask me why I run. Nice. I like that. That's great. Once you've finished everything, including your voiceovers, all of any effects that you might be putting on there, you can press share, publish to web, and click publish link. You can then copy that link, paste that anywhere, and there you go. That's how to create a poetry video.